Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Stuart XRP posted this here on Twitter. I would not want to be the person/people that promoted Bitcoin to El Salvador when the long bear market eventually returns, like in every cycle. So, we got this news that El Salvador now accepting Bitcoin as legal tender. And of course, we got this news during a bull market. I have Bitcoin up here on the weekly right now. And, despite this pullback over a few weeks, we are now seeing Bitcoin price recover a little bit. Okay, all this El Salvador news, of course, coming in the year 2021 when Bitcoin price has been surging. But eventually, guys, as per Stuart XRP's point, the people of El Salvador might think, oh yeah, Bitcoin's great, until they invest their money in Bitcoin and the price collapses. Now, let's not forget, this happens in every cycle. And think about how many people are actually savvy about market cycles compared to the amount of people that are not savvy about market cycles. Is this going to be a situation where, the people of El Salvador think, great, Bitcoin is doing well, I'm going to put all my life savings into Bitcoin, and a year down the road, or even sooner than that actually, and over the next 2 or 3 years, we see Bitcoin price go down and down and down before it bottoms out. Who's really left holding the bag when this happens? Dictator Know-It-All bringing it up here. It would bring them to their knees. Benny X saying this is just part one of a plan to get the IMF involved in crypto acceptance, which would trump any attempts to ban it in the United States. Let it play out. It could be very beneficial to the entire crypto space. So another perspective on that, George Bull down here saying, as a friend told me, I'm sure the interest in El Salvador has nothing to do with the fact that millions can cash their bags tax-free in El Salvador and send it back home via USD, as their sovereign currency is USD. Nothing to see here. We only care about those poor unbanked folks. So we have this narrative here with El Salvador. It is coming at an interesting time. And the IMF hasn't looked too favorably upon this. The IMF sees legal economic issues with El Salvador's Bitcoin move. The International Monetary Fund said on Thursday it has a number of economic and legal concerns regarding the move from El Salvador to make Bitcoin a parallel legal tender. El Salvador has become the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, with President Nayib Bukele touting its use for the potential help to El Salvadorians living abroad to send remittances back home. Adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender raises a number of macroeconomic, financial, and legal issues that require very careful analysis. This coming from Jerry Rice, an IMF spokesman, during a scheduled press briefing. We are following developments closely and will continue our conclusions with the authorities. Rice said that the fund will later on Thursday meet with Bukele to discuss the Bitcoin law. El Salvador is in discussions with the IMF seeking a near $1 billion program. El Salvador's law means Bitcoin will have equal footing with the dollar, which became its official currency 20 years ago. So just a brief synopsis from Reuters, giving us the highlights of what the IMF thinks about this whole thing. Meanwhile, this is what's coming out of the Netherlands. Michael at Val5Links pointing this out. The Netherlands must now ban Bitcoin, Dutch Central Planning Bureau chief says. So, Peter Hasemkamp, director of the Central Planning Bureau of the Netherlands, believes that the crash of cryptocurrencies is unavoidable in the future. He urges that the Dutch government impose a ban on Bitcoin and other digital currencies immediately. Peter Hasemkamp's discussion on this topic was published in the Het Financieel Dagblad. He wrote that when it comes to investors and governments, the last person to move is the loser. So to protect investors, the Netherlands government must put an end to trading, producing, and even possessing crypto, according to him. So a very, very strict stance on cryptocurrency in the Netherlands coming from Peter Hasemkamp. Hasemkamp reckons that a ban on crypto would definitely lead to a drop in the value of Bitcoin along with other cryptocurrencies and could herald the end of crypto. He has slammed cryptocurrencies because of not being permitted by official financial institutions and because governments and financial authorities around the world have little to no control over them. He added, after all, the product itself has no intrinsic value and derives its appeal only from acceptance by others. Kind of like the US dollar and many other fiat currencies around the world. I mean, it's debatable whether cryptocurrencies do have value or not. We all see that the US dollar has value because we all believe it has value. Now, I'm not talking about the people maybe in this audience, but generally speaking, the people of the United States generally accept that $1 is worth $1, and you can buy X, Y, and Z with $1. Now, when prices get more expensive, we think, oh, look at how expensive things are getting. Meanwhile, what's really happening? The dollar's value being devalued as time goes on through inflation. Printing money, I mean, there's all kinds of factors involved in that. So there's this Bitcoin thing, and we're getting conflicting sentiments from different countries and the IMF specifically. But we've also got this guy's coming out of the United States, and I'm not going to dwell on too many of these articles here because I do have a few of them. XRP Crypto Wolf posted this. Texas Senator Ted Cruz comes out as pro-Bitcoin. We are also noticing that Texas is now green-lighting banks to custody crypto. So this is big in Texas. State-chartered banks in Texas have been given the green light to custody crypto assets on behalf of their customers, a state regulator announced on Thursday. The guidance is not representative of new law, but an affirmation that state-chartered banks are allowed to provide crypto custody services as long as there are adequate protocols in place and the banks are complying with existing legal frameworks, according to a June 10th notice posted on the Texas Department of Banking's website. According to the notice, the types of custody services offered by state-chartered banks may differ depending on the bank's expertise, risk appetite, and business model. Banks may offer either fiduciary or non-fiduciary custody assets, which could range from safely storing copies of a customer's private keys to directly controlling crypto assets, including holding private keys on behalf of its customers. Interesting development there. Of course, we know many banks in the United States have already done this, and so it's going to be a snowball effect, at least with regards to crypto custodying. But the government, at least in the United States, is seeing cryptocurrency is a thing. People are interested in it, and so these banks have to be able to custody crypto, because the last thing we want is for a whole bunch of people to be losing their private keys and for everybody's cryptocurrency to be lost. So these are ways, I think, for at least the government to be able to appease the public, I suppose, in a way, which is overall good for the crypto space. I mean, I'm not going to diminish it, but at the same time, be able to track your cryptocurrency, be able to know, because of course there's all the KYC rules that are involved in this, for them to be able to know who has what, who is using what cryptocurrency to purchase what, or who's storing what cryptocurrency, how much everybody has, so on and so forth. So there's that. There's also this guy's from DJ Peter Vast. This small 401k provider wants to bring cryptocurrency to Americans' retirement funds. So the provider is called For Us All. Financial services for cryptocurrency holders have been growing as a subset of the fintech industry for years now, and now cryptocurrency in a 401k is entering the mix. The small 401k provider called For Us All is now allowing participants to allocate up to 5% of their retirement funds in cryptocurrency. The offering includes 50 different crypto assets, including Bitcoin, which will be custodied and managed by Coinbase International. The company has not said how many of its employer customers have signed up for the offering since its launch earlier this week. So this is not the first time people have been able to invest in cryptocurrencies or cryptocurrency related or pegged products in their 401k, but it is just another company that is coming out and saying, look, we see the interest in cryptocurrencies, so we want to make it available for our clients. Making Bitcoin available through a 401k is a way to give retail investors easy and accessible exposure. This coming from CEO Jeff Schult. We've seen in the last few years a huge sea change in the investment world, he said. Institutional investors are increasingly using cryptocurrency as part of their portfolios. You see Harvard, Brown, Yale, all including cryptocurrencies in their endowments. Unfortunately, for most Americans, don't have access to the same types of assets. So another option for 401ks through For Us All, investing in cryptocurrencies or allowing their clients to invest in cryptocurrencies in their 401ks. So the narrative, on the one hand, seems kind of negative, I suppose. We got this seemingly positive news coming out of El Salvador, then the IMF shoots it down. Economic issues with El Salvador's Bitcoin move. We've got the Netherlands, negative news coming out of there. Yet in the United States, and it feels like it was the complete reverse last year, yet in the United States, we are seeing pro-Bitcoin Senator Ted Cruz. Texas now allowing certain banks to custody crypto, and 401k providers offering more services for cryptocurrency. Meanwhile, in Ripple news, Ripple partner Ria Money Transfer adds real-time payments through Brazil's Pix instant payment platform in partnership with Banco Rendimento. This coming from the Cryptic Poet here. Ria Money Transfer, a world leader in cross-border money transfer industry and subsidiary of Euronet Worldwide Inc., today announced the launch of instant payments in Brazil via the country's new Pix real-time payments network. Rio will participate in the Pix network through its partnership with Banco Rendimento and now facilitate local BRL transfers and payments 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And Banco Rendimento is a Ripple partner. We also know Ria Money Transfer, a Ripple partner as well. This article dating back from May of 2019. So great news there. Thanks so much to the Cryptic Poet for posting that. And XRP Crypto Wolf posting this, TechCrunch founder Michael Arrington said him and his XRP VC fund are extremely loyal to Ripple and XRP and believe in that ecosystem. So this coming from Michael Arrington just recently. Michael Arrington's crypto venture capital firm Arrington Capital Management is launching a $100 million fund for bets on projects building on the Algorand blockchain. You guys remember that video I did? There was a photo posted by Michael Arrington on his Twitter with Brad Garlinghouse and the chaps from Algorand. I'll link it up here if you guys didn't catch it. So more information on what's going on with that. Down here, our perspective is not that one is going to overtake the other, that one's going to win or make the other irrelevant, but they sort of converge, he says. We see ourselves as sort of helping with this bridge between banks, firms, and DeFi. So Michael Arrington obviously does realize that the crypto space, like Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse, you know, everybody kind of has to work together in order for this ecosystem to really kind of develop and mature. The tribalism isn't helping anything. You know, a lot of these projects, Algorand, Ripple, whoever you have out there in the space, they are all focusing on certain things, and you know, many different projects can have multiple use cases as well. The XRPL, for example, developers are building on it constantly to find other use cases for XRP, and they already have, and we are already seeing that happen. Arrington Capital may be best known in the crypto sphere for its XRP fund, which launched late in 2017, also with $100 million in capital. The firm has remained true to Ripple Labs' embattled token, even as other companies in the market flee. And then he said, and here's a quote here, "We are extremely loyal to Ripple and to XRP, and we believe in that ecosystem, but it is a multi-chain world. As for how the XRP army will react, I'm interested in the answer to that myself. We'll see," he said. So, looking for your reactions, guys. Despite all this, Michael Arrington still extremely loyal to Ripple and XRP, and many projects can and will work together. Nietzbuck's down here saying XRP and Algo are more technically sophisticated and mature than most chains. Both work so well because they are both incredibly well designed. We got to look for the utility in this market. This is what is really going to matter. This is what is really going to launch projects and what is going to mature the cryptocurrency market as a whole. Moving along though, guys, I wanted to mention this from the wrath of Kahneman, interested to see what becomes of Project Jura between the central banks of France and Switzerland. The inclusion of R3 suggests it is not based on the XRPL, but worth noting here. So R3 can settle with several different protocols. Let's read this here, though. The Bank of France and the Swiss National Bank are working with the private sector consortium for the trial of a central bank digital currency in a project called Jura. The two central banks are collaborating with the BIS Innovation Hub along with a group of partners, including Accenture, which is a Ripple partner, Credit Suisse, which I believe is also a Ripple partner, R3, which has the ability to settle with XRP, Six Digital Exchange, UBS, and Natixis for the CBDC-based cross-border payment model for transactions in the wholesale market. Through this initiative, the bank aims to explore the potential benefits and challenges of CBDCs in settling cross-border payments and digital financial instruments. It is essential for central banks to stay on top of technological developments, said Andrea Makler, member of the governing board of the Swiss National Bank. The central bank is already working on the settlement of token assets with CBDCs as part of Project Helvetica. So although Wrath of Kahneman is suggesting, if they are using R3, it is suggesting that it is not based on the XRPL, they are still collaborating with other Ripple partners. And I wanted to remind you guys about this article from March of 2021, so just a few months ago, with regards to the Bank of France. Remember this? CPA Australia has released a report that says the Central Bank of France is considering using Ripple and XRP as a potential platform for issuing the digital euro. So this also coming from the Bank of France. Now, I don't know if they would use the same protocols as what is occurring here with this test in Project Jura. However, they were very adamant that they saw benefits with using Ripple and XRP. So they did publish a report back then, the Central Bank Digital Currencies, a comparative review. The document has revealed that the French Central Bank has been discussing Ripple and XRP as a possible basis for launching the digital euro. And I don't actually have this document up here. Oh, actually, it's linked here in the report, but it is going to this page here, which is saying that the website is under maintenance. So I can't get to that PDF at the moment, but it is linked here, guys. I'm sure I will link this article in the description. If you guys click on this link here in this article, I'm sure you will be able to find it. So that was the latest update from the Bank of France only a few months ago. And this from Macatag XRP, another article detailing this story, this one postulating that they could be using Ripple technology. Though the banks have not declared on which ledger it would be in, there is speculation that it might be built on Ripple XRP. Ripple is known to have been building a private ledger for use by central banks. Let's not forget that as well. And it is also known the French central bank has preferred Ripple as the ledger of choice for the digital currency, as I just mentioned. But with Ripple being hit with legal cases by the SEC, it is not known whether the central banks have had second thoughts on using Ripple. So there's probably a lot behind the scenes that we're likely not privy to, and maybe Project Jura is looking for a backup solution, another way to be able to facilitate cross-border payments using CBDCs that does not rely on RippleNet, just in case. So will the central banks of France and Switzerland run on Ripple? The Project Jura trial is connected with several Ripple partners. We do know that the Central Bank of France, particularly just a few months ago, has been discussing XRP and Ripple as a possibility for launching the digital euro, but there still is that pesky court case. Could they be running on something else? Maybe even just temporarily, as per the wrath of Kahneman. Some food for thought, folks, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.